every month. Let's say $5,000 every month, and you're in Nigeria. Look at the conversion rate. You feel like, yes, I'm okay. Now carry yourself with 20 million naira and say you're a big boy in Nigeria and move to Canada with your 20 million naira. I can tell you that before that month end, you might be on the street begging for food. The prodigal son felt what he had is enough for him. But God in his ways decided that famine must happen in that land. Well, there was a famine in that land. And before famine can happen, it shows that the economy of that country was already what? Was already bad. And God did it for him in a way that, say, you want to spend, you want to enjoy. No problem, go ahead to enjoy. He has prepared that far land for him. When he wants to bring him back home, he's going to set up a famine. That famine happened. And then he came back home. Let's move on. Verse 13. Let's move to verse 13. Not many days later, the younger son gathered together and they had traveled for a distant country where he squandered his estate in foolish living. Let's move on. After he had spent everything, a severe famine struck that country and he had nothing. A severe famine. You know, in Nigeria presently, we complain that the economy, there's hardship, there's that, your 5,000 withdrawal today, we finish before the end of that day. The only thing that will make that money is to not finish is if you don't step out of that your house. And in fact, if you stay indoor, there are people who God have placed in some certain strategic position that will send you DM. That will send you, brother, please, I've not eaten for the past so number of days. And you've seen debit. You didn't leave your house, but debit will be coming in. And it's so funny these days that 1,000 naira cannot do anything. If you want to eat as a man, let me say, if you want to eat as a pregnant woman, 1,000 naira cannot do what? Cannot do anything for you. And why did I bring that example? I want to bring in the fact that there's famine in that land. In Nigeria currently, we are experiencing the economic hardship. And I can tell you, some people are buying the latest. So when the prodigal son experienced famine and there was nothing for him again, and he started begging, I am 100% sure there are still some people in that far land, in that same land, who are living large. So if you feel you have enough and you don't need God in your life, there will be circumstances that will arise that it's only God that can make you go through them. Please check your life this morning. Are you like that prodigal son who feels like I have it all? I don't need God. Because in reality, let's be frank with ourselves. We have seen a lot of people saying, people in US, in Canada, they don't pray, they don't do this, there's work, there's this, there's that. Because in Nigeria there's no work, that's why we are praying. There's no work, that is why we are doing work. That's why we are praying. If there was work, if there was food, if there was money, will you still pray? Will you depend on that, your ability, that the fact that you can afford what you want, and decide to say, God, this is not, I don't need you, just stay by the side? Are you like that prodigal son? Please check your life this morning. As God bless you, and you get to the point that you feel like you don't need him anymore. When you disconnect from God, you begin to die spiritually. No matter how exciting life looks. When you disconnect from God, you begin to die spiritually. And that's why I was saying that this new life, has no full stop. It's a journey. It's a journey that you need to watch yourself. You need to watch the next thing that you do. You need to know that at this journey, you need to carry God all along. You know, many of us, I personally, have been in situations where I was praying and I'm like, God, please do this for me. Please do that for me. And I'm always tempted to always put caveats and also put some conditions anytime we are praying to God. Anytime I pray to God and it's urgent, I say, God, do this for me. If you can do this thing, I will pay my tithe. God will not do it. God will do it. God will now make sure he brings another thing that you must spend that money on to test you whether the promise you have kept initially, whether you will keep it and still solve the current problems. Please, as much as possible, if you must enjoy this new life, this journey to a new life, please be careful of promises you make to God. We are not saying you should not make promise, but please be careful of the promises you make to God. There was a time when I was my first job. That was in Ogun State, in a factory. And I went to church one day, and the pastor was preaching so powerfully, this and that. Everybody, as God lays in your heart, bring down your month's salary. And me, that I was saying, God, I want to leave this place. I want to move. I was moved to drop my entire salary. My salary then was 45,000. I collected the salary. I started struggling. Like, should I send this money? Should I send this money? Should I send this money? And when I was praying, I already put some conditions that once that salary comes, I'm going to send that money. Should I send this money? I was thinking. And anytime I decided not to send that money, what the pastor was saying, you come to mind again. At some point, I sent the money, the entire 45. And I was staying with my uncle. And once I come on Friday, when I come on Friday, Sunday, I will go back again. I'm like, how am I going to survive? Not forgetting the fact that my condition for giving that 45,000 naira was that God, you will give me another job. And I started. Let me burst your bubbles. I was a staff. I was converted to contract staff. You see, God can be so direct with you. And you must understand him. That is why it's a journey. He's not looking for someone that is perfect. This popular song that we sing, he lives 99 and goes afterwards, the one. And when they asked him, why will you leave the 99 and go after? He said, the 91 are already what? They are already what? They have been saved. He decided to go after just one. And when I was reading it, I'm like, wow. In fact, if I have 99, if you like that one, if you like perish. How to guard that 99, that one out of that 99 will not live. That's what I'll be guarding against. But he's not looking for those of you that he has helped by his grace to be fervent, to be stable with him. He goes after those who are not yet with him. Not that he doesn't care about you.